Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we are diving deep into one of the rarest, most mysterious, and most historically significant coins ever produced in the United States. A coin so old and so scarce that even the most advanced collectors have never seen one in person. A coin struck during a turbulent period of early American coinage, between the years 1845 and 1849, a time when the United States Mint was expanding, the nation was changing rapidly, and rare early gold dollars were becoming the foundation of American numismatic history. This is the story of the extremely rare 1845 to 1849 no-mint mark presidential $1 coin, a legendary piece valued today at up to $7 million. If you own old coins, inherited a collection, or simply love rare treasure discoveries, you cannot miss a single second of this video. So settle in, get comfortable, and let's explore why this specific coin is so unique, how it came to be, what eras and varieties make it unbelievably valuable, and how a small, thin piece of early American history can change the life of whoever finds it. Let's begin the journey. In the mid-1840s, the United States was entering a period of expansion, innovation, and rapid change. The nation was growing westward, gold discoveries were beginning to spark public interest, and the idea of creating smaller gold denominations was becoming more popular. Before 1849, there was no official gold dollar produced for circulation. This is part of what makes the 1845 to 1849 coin so mysterious. Many historians believe that extremely limited patterns, prototypes, and trial strikes were created privately or within the mint itself without official mint marks. These pieces were not intended for circulation. Instead, they were experimental designs, often featuring early presidents or symbolic imagery, to test engraving techniques and evaluate public reaction. The particular coin we are discussing today is believed to be one of only a handful of early presidential $1 pattern coins ever produced. The absence of a mint mark suggests that it was struck at the main United States Mint in Philadelphia, which did not use mint marks during that time. Collectors refer to these coins as no mint mark prototypes, trial pieces, or patterns. And because so few of them survived, every known example is treated as a priceless artifact. To understand how incredible the $7 million value is, we have to understand the historical environment in which this coin was created. Between 1845 and 1849, the U.S. Mint was focused primarily on producing large cents, half cents, silver dollars, and early gold pieces like the quarter eagle, half eagle, and eagle. Gold dollars were not officially minted until 1849. So any $1 denomination coin dated before that year, and made of gold or brass, is automatically rare. Add in the fact that this particular piece features the likeness of early U.S. presidents and the absence of a mint mark, and the coin becomes one of the rarest pre-production dollar experiments in American history. Now let's talk about what the coin looks like. The obverse typically features a stylized portrait of a U.S. president. Depending on the variation and strike period, this could include early presidents from George Washington to James K. Polk. Engravings from this era were handcrafted, meaning each example can have slight differences in detail, curve, or relief. This hand engraving is part of what makes these coins so appealing to collectors. There is no mass production uniformity. Each coin feels like a miniature work of art. The reverse usually includes a wreath, symbolic arrows, branches, or early federal motifs. The denomination $1 is commonly placed in the center, surrounded by detailed ornamentation that is typical of early to mid-19th century design. Since the coin lacks a mint mark, the only identifiers include the year, the design elements, and the composition. Speaking of composition, most surviving examples appear to be struck in a gold-dollar mixture similar to what the mint later used for the official 1849 gold dollar. This is another clue that the coin was an early prototype. At the same time, some extremely rare varieties may have been struck in brass or copper as test pieces, called trial strikes. These pieces are even rarer because they were likely only used to check the design before the mint used real gold. Now let's talk about why this coin is worth $7 million today. The first reason is scarcity. Only a handful of these early no-mint mark presidential dollar prototypes are known to exist. In fact, for decades, some experts doubted they existed at all. It wasn't until private collectors and auctions began revealing them that the truth became accepted within the numismatic world. The second reason is historical importance. This coin represents the earliest phase of the American $1 denomination in coin form. Before official gold dollars were introduced in 1849, these pattern pieces were the only examples of what a $1 gold coin might look like. They are the bridge between concept and reality. The third reason is condition. Unlike mass-produced coins, pattern coins were handled carefully, stored safely, and sometimes preserved by mint officials or private engravers. When one of these appears in high grade, brilliant surfaces, strong details, and minimal wear, it becomes a dream piece for elite collectors. And the fourth reason is the mystery. People are naturally drawn to the unknown. A coin with unclear production numbers, undocumented origins, and design elements featuring early U.S. presidents adds a layer of historical curiosity that increases value dramatically. Now let's discuss the specific years: 1845, 1846, 1847, 1848, and 1849. Each year has its own story. The 1845 version is considered the earliest prototype. Very few examples are known, and some may have been struck in copper or brass as early trials. This year tends to show slightly weaker engraving on the portrait, suggesting it was the earliest draft of the design. If you ever find a coin dated 1845 with a presidential portrait and no mint mark, you may have discovered something life-changing. The 1846 version shows more refined details. The wreath on the reverse is sharper, and the portrait engraving is more defined. Many collectors believe this was the first year the mint truly began experimenting with the idea of a $1 coin. The 1846 version is exceptionally rare and extremely valuable, especially in high-grade condition. The 1847 version is often regarded as the most visually appealing. This year tends to have a more polished appearance, suggesting that the engravers had more experience and confidence with the design. The edges are more refined, and the relief on the portrait is noticeably stronger. This coin, if found in uncirculated condition, could easily exceed $7 million at auction. The 1848 version may be the scarcest of all. Records suggest that very few pattern coins of this denomination were created in 1848, possibly because the mint was preparing to finalize the official design for the 1849 gold dollar. Because of this limited production, any surviving 1848 piece is extraordinarily valuable and sought after by elite collectors worldwide. And finally, the 1849 version. This is the transition year. In 1849, the United States Mint officially began producing gold dollars. Because of this, any pattern or prototype coin dated 1849 is one of the last and rarest examples of the no-mint mark presidential dollar series. These coins are highly prized because they represent the final step before official production began. An 1849 prototype in high grade can easily sell for millions. Now let's talk about how these coins escaped the mint and found their way into the world. It's believed that many pattern coins were either gifted to government officials, retained by mint workers, or traded between engravers and collectors in private circles. Unlike circulation coins, pattern pieces were not tracked officially and were often considered experimental artifacts rather than currency. This means some of these coins were passed down through families, forgotten in collections, or stored in old boxes and trunks for over a century. Imagine inheriting a box of old coins from a grandparent and discovering a small gold dollar with no mint mark and a date between 1845 and 1849. That small coin could change your entire future. Many valuable rare coins are discovered this way, and the only reason people find them is because they decide to look. If you ever come across a coin from this era, here are the signs to look for. First, look at the date. Anything between 1845 and 1849 instantly deserves closer inspection. Second, check for the absence of a mint mark. During this period, the Philadelphia Mint did not mark its coins, so a coin from this era without a mint mark is consistent with authenticity. Third, examine the portrait. Early presidential engravings were deeply detailed, especially in the hair, forehead, and collar area. Fourth, look at the coin's metal. In today's video, we are diving into one of the most mysterious, historic, and unbelievably valuable coins ever discovered in the world of numismatics. Imagine holding a single $1 coin from the early 1800s that could change your entire life. A coin so rare that only a handful are known to exist, and a coin that collectors call the silent treasure of American history. We are talking about the legendary 1825 to 1829 no-mint mark President $1 coin, a coin linked to the era of America's first 6 presidents, and a coin whose current market value has skyrocketed to an unbelievable $9 million. This is not a modern commemorative coin, this is not a mass-produced collectible. This is a piece of early American history, a coin that predates modern minting techniques, and a treasure that most people have never even heard about. If you have old family collections, inherited boxes of coins, antique drawers, or estate items passed down from generations, this video may literally change your life because this $1 coin could be hiding anywhere. As we begin this incredible journey, imagine yourself in the early 1800s. The United States was still a growing nation, recovering from wars, expanding its territory, and establishing its identity. The coins produced during these years were not only tools for everyday transactions but also physical representations of America's independence and character. Between the years 1825 and 1829, the U.S. Mint produced various experimental and early design $1 coins, but not all of them were officially released to the public. Some were test strikes, pattern coins, redesigned trials, or reserved for government officials. While most coins from this period carried identifiable mint marks, a very small quantity were produced with no mint mark at all. These were believed to have been struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use mint marks in the early 19th century. What makes the 1825 to 1829 no-mint mark President dollar coin so historic is that many of these coins were linked to designs featuring images or references to early presidents, reflecting this era of change and national pride. Collectors and historians believe that these coins were part of a short-lived series honoring the early leadership of the nation. Each year's version had slight differences in design, weight, and metal composition. Some of these coins were prototypes and never intended for circulation, but a few pieces somehow made their way into public hands over the decades. The reason these coins are valued at $9 million today is not just because of their age, rarity, or design complexity. It is also because of the mystery surrounding them. For nearly 2 centuries, experts believed that many of these coins were lost, melted, or destroyed. Only a handful have been authenticated, and every time a new one appears, the entire coin world stops and pays attention. Now imagine you find one of these coins. The first thing that stands out is the weight and texture. Coins from the 1820s were hand-struck using old minting presses. The pressure was uneven, the edges might show slight imperfections, and the details looked carved rather than machine-engraved like modern coins. The obverse side of the coin typically features a portrait symbolizing liberty, or referencing early presidential themes. The reverse side often includes the classic American eagle motif, stars representing states of the Union, and inscriptions that carry early patriotic phrases. The date 1825, 1826, 1827, 1828, or 1829 is positioned clearly on the bottom of the coin. But the most significant feature is the absence of a mint mark. During this period, the Philadelphia Mint was the nation's main minting facility, and coins produced there did not carry mint marks. A no-mint mark coin from this era is not unusual by itself. What makes this particular coin extraordinary is its design variation and its association with an extremely limited strike. Collectors worldwide compete fiercely for early-dated US dollars. Many of these coins are already housed in museums, private vaults, or national collections. But once in a while, a coin appears in private hands, often found in an attic box, an old chest, a forgotten tin container, or inside a deceased relative's belongings. That is exactly how some of the multi-million-dollar coins of this series were discovered. One was found inside a small wooden box wrapped in cloth. Another surfaced during an estate auction when nobody realized its true identity. Someone bought a mixed lot of old coins for only a few dollars and later found the rare 1820s President dollar inside. Stories like these are what make coin collecting so exciting. You never truly know what treasures exist out there. To fully understand why the 1825 to 1829 no mint mark President $1 coin is so valuable, we need to explore its rarity. Official mint records from the 1820s show gaps in documented production. During these years, large dollar coins were struck in very small quantities, and certain years even show no official production at all. Yet a few experimental pieces have surfaced. This means that these coins were likely pattern strikes, test coins created before the final design was approved. Pattern coins were not intended for public use and usually remained inside the mint. When one escapes into private hands, it becomes a priceless relic. Additionally, early American coins were subject to melting, especially during metal shortages when silver and gold prices fluctuated. Many coins were recycled, making surviving pieces extremely rare. Today, experts consider the 1825 to 1829 no mint mark President dollar one of the most desirable early American coins. High-grade examples, meaning coins with minimal wear and sharp design detail, command massive prices at auctions. A single coin from this series recently shocked the world when it sold for an astonishing $9 million. That sale catapulted this coin into the spotlight and renewed interest in early dated no mint mark dollars. Since then, collectors, investors, and museums have been searching for more surviving pieces. But here's the most important part for you watching this video: one of these coins could still be out there. Many early American coins were saved by families as heirlooms without knowing their future value. Some ended up in jars, drawers, or suitcases. Others were mixed with common coins and forgotten. And because these coins have no mint mark and appear simple at first glance, many people overlook them. This is why you should always check every old coin you find. Even if the coin looks worn or old, do not assume it has no value. If you ever come across a $1 coin dated between 1825 and 1829 with no mint mark, stop everything. Do not clean the coin, do not polish it, and do not try to restore it. Cleaning a rare coin can lower its value by millions of dollars. Leave it exactly as you found it and get it evaluated by a professional grading service such as PCGS or NGC. These organizations can authenticate your coin, grade it, and confirm whether it is one of the ultra-rare President dollar prototypes from the 1820s. If it is real, you may be holding a life-changing treasure. Let's explore the details of each year in this legendary range. Starting with 1825, this year marks the beginning of the transitional designs for early American dollars. A few pattern coins were believed to be created for government review. These coins feature sharp detail around the eagle feathers, distinct stars, and a strong date imprint. A genuine 1825 pattern dollar without mint mark is one of the rarest coins ever produced. Moving into 1826, mint records again show inconsistencies. Historians believe that several prototype coins were made to test new engraving techniques. These pattern dollars look slightly different in weight and finish, making them easily distinguishable by experts. By 1827, coin production was extremely limited. Only small batches were created, possibly for testing new metal mixtures or new coin press machinery. The 1827 version of the President dollar is famous for its crisp lettering and unusual rim detail. Then we reach 1828 and 1829, the final years of this experimental period. Coins from these years show refined artwork with clearer lines, more defined eagles, and enhanced inscriptions. These coins represent the close of this short-lived experimental era before dollar coin production temporarily shifted and evolved. The value of these coins continues to rise year after year. Wealthy collectors are constantly searching for early American rarities, and many of these coins have not been publicly seen for decades. Experts believe that several surviving pieces remain in private hands waiting to be discovered. That is why videos like this are so important. People around the world may have these coins without knowing their true worth. Imagine selling a single coin for $9 million. That amount can buy a luxury home, pay off entire families' debts, set you up for life, or fund your dreams. All from a coin that might be sitting unnoticed in an old container.